Thank you. Speakers in opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon. Jason Murphy on behalf of the University of California. I want to start my comments today by noting that, from the university's perspective, we admire the Assembly member for the effort he's undertaken here to do what's in the best interest of research animals. I think that given the service that they've given to us as researchers, they deserve to have this debate. However, I also want to say that I think that the university's commitment to these animals has also been admirable. Nothing about what we want to say today seeks to diminish the role that other groups have played. However, we think that we've done a pretty good job ourselves. We do have policies in place. We had policies in place across our system last year before the bill last year got started. We felt that it was important to ensure that those policies were standardized going forward, and so therefore in the fall of 2014, all of our campuses adopted university guidance for the adoption of cats and dogs. So therefore, across the UC system, our policies are all now the same for how research animals are to be dealt with. We also have programs in place, and so these are the direct adoption programs that you've heard about, again, in some of the testimony. I should point out that 7 of our campuses in 2014, the most recent year for which USDA data is available, don't have any dogs at all. The dogs that are within UC today are at UC Davis, UC LA, and San Diego. When it comes to the dogs that would be dealt with pursuant to this bill, they are primarily at UC Davis. And so therefore I brought a colleague of mine from the Davis campus to speak today. But I want to just highlight the numbers real quickly. In 2014, there were 70 dogs in the care of UC Davis. 45 of those animals were teaching animals, animals that were brought in for non-invasive teaching opportunities with students, and so they're having their temperatures taken and things like that, teeth checked and so forth. Teaching dogs are never euthanized, and all 45 of those animals were adopted in 2014. That leaves a balance of 25 at UC Davis, 25 animals in research. Of those 25, 23 were adopted, 2 were euthanized, pursuant to their research protocols that had been established at the beginning when they came onto campus. So if you look at Davis, 68 out of 70 dogs were adopted. I'm a little disheartened to hear that the PRA requests that the proponents put forward didn't yield that same answer. I'd like to learn a little bit more about how that could have possibly been the case. Maybe they didn't get the information from Davis because, indeed, there's 68 dogs at Davis and 3 dogs, 3 of the 11, at San Diego. So I have a little bit more to say, but I want to give my opportunity for my colleague here. I want to introduce Dr. Liz Carbone. She's a veterinary resident at the UC Davis School of Veterinary Medicine.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members. My name is Liz Carbone, and I'm a veterinary resident at UC Davis with the Campus Veterinary Services and the proud adopter of a retired research beagle named Butternut. In the course of my professional duties, I've witnessed the deep commitment of my colleagues, both in the veterinary staff and among the research labs, to the adoptions of research dogs and cats. I oppose this bill because I strongly believe that our campus veterinary staff is the most qualified to facilitate these adoptions for 2 main reasons. 1, they are best able to match adopters to individual animals, and 2, they are best suited to advise adopters about transitioning the animals to their new homes. I had the idea to adopt my dog over a year ago when I first met her, and she won me over immediately. She's a senior dog, gentle and calm, and just what I was looking for. Months later, she was ready for adoption, and the campus was looking to place her with someone with veterinary experience. Butternut has a naturally occurring eye disease called dry eye, and she needs eye drops multiple times daily and lifelong monitoring for complications. It was important to everyone at UC Davis who works with these dogs that the right match be made. The campus adoption coordinator and I discussed Butternut's personality and the process of bringing a lab beagle into a home. I was given the standard adoption form, which makes sure adopters have a plan for training, medical care, and introduction to other pets in the home. Her campus veterinarian and I reviewed her entire medical record together, and the ophthalmology specialist from the research lab advised me about how to manage her dry eye. Butternut came home on Thanksgiving weekend and is thriving in her new life. She sits in my lap while I read. She sleeps under the bed covers. She plays with her 3 cat housemates, and she soaks up attention wherever she goes. I confess we've spent many afternoons napping on the couch, and I've brought a picture of her new life. I am so grateful that I was able to get to know the research dogs and pick the one that is a perfect match for my family. I can speak from personal experience when I say that all of my campus colleagues have nothing but the greatest concern in ensuring appropriate and stable adoptive homes for our research animals. And the direct adoption process has been a success for me and for many others. For the best interests of our research animals, I am opposed to the bill before you today.
I'm Cheryl Green, and I'm here again from Stanford University. We don't have any dogs in our facility. Dog research hasn't been a mainstay for quite some time, but this issue is very important to our institution and to the biomedical research community. So I thought I would like to come and give you a few points, some things that we've talked about for decades, not for a few years, about adopting animals that have finished their time at a research facility. The first thing is that I know you all have the facts that 97% of the animals that would be covered by this bill are already being adopted. In fact, in 2014, some 3,300 dogs were adopted from biomedical and research institutions, education research. That's a lot of dogs. People put a lot of time and effort. There are policies in place. There is infrastructure. There is money. There is expert veterinary care. Stanford University alone has been in the business of adopting animals that could be retired for 30 years. Okay, this isn't something we came up with right before the bill. I know our peers and colleagues at other institutions, they're in the same position. This has long been a practice of many, if not all, of the animal facilities and research animal programs that I'm aware of. I wanted to bring up a couple of points just to show you and talk a little bit more about the stories, because as researchers we don't get to tell you our stories often enough, and we have wonderful stories. I know it's hard to vote against cute kids and beagles, and I'm very grateful to the people who've adopted and rescued dogs, but let me show you a couple of our stories. This is Becca. She's 23 years old. She was diagnosed with terminal malignant breast cancer. She had a mastectomy and took meds, and she made a remarkable recovery. She actually went to work in an animal research facility and befriended one of the beagles who was on a cancer study, and she has adopted that dog. She took that dog home. She's a survivor today and is running in marathons, and this is what she wrote. Yes, we use these animals to help us make these discoveries, but during my time, I also adopted one of these dogs. I'm cancer-free today, a young survivor, a wife, an oncology nurse helping others, and I adopted Daisy. I'm here today because of research and because of Daisy. So this is one example of a dog adoption from a facility that was mentored and fostered by an academic institution. Let me talk to you about Stanford, okay? I don't know if you guys heard on NPR yesterday. This is Emmanuel Mignot. He is a world-renowned sleep researcher. He's holding a dog named Bear. Bear came into the facility because he had an inherited disease called narcolepsy. That's when you get so excited you fall asleep, and people are affected by it. Dr. Mignot took Bear and established a small colony where he studied the genetics of these dogs, and he was able to discover the gene that narcolepsy that causes narcolepsy in dogs, and has opened up a whole new universe of discovery of sleep disorders in humans because of Bear. So the dog colony was retired, but Bear, Dr. Mignot had become so attached to. And who are we going to adopt Bear to but Dr. Mignot? Dr. Mignot took him home, and Bear just died last year after many long years in a loving home with a researcher who understood and knew his disease, who, like Dr. Carboni, knew he had to take care of him in a special way. This is what Dr. Mignot wrote when Bear died. Our house is very silent without our dog. We're always looking for something. It's like your shadow is missing. I'll probably get another dog. I'll adopt one. But it's one of the good things about dogs is they help you gauge your own mortality and make you think deep about important problems in research. This is Watson, a Chihuahua that Dr. Mignot adopted a few weeks ago. This is a tiny puppy Chihuahua that has narcolepsy, and he's now in the home. He's been rescued. So I bring these points in line because I just wanted to share with the group here and the others that the university systems have been engaged in this for decades. They're well-established programs. Why would you vote to replace these wonderful programs that we have with one that at this point in time we don't have a clear understanding of who is their source of funding, how will they take care of these dogs, what are their policies, is there transparency about the follow-up. I don't know that they are equipped to take care of the numbers of dogs. They claim 400 dogs. That's about 100 dogs a year. But it takes a village to manage these dogs. It takes the resources of the UC system in some place like Stanford. So to that end, I would encourage you not to support this proposal. This bill has a number of problems with it that the amendments don't address to our satisfaction. Mainly, I would hate to see a wonderful dog like Bear or one like Daisy be turned over to a shelter where the chances of them being adopted is less than 30%.
Thank you. Others in opposition, I would remind if you came to the mic and stated your name and your opposition.
Hi, my name is Vic Lucas. I'm campus veterinarian at UC Davis. I oppose it as demonstrated by all the people here who have adopted animals. The current process works. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Steve Felt, the attending vet at Stanford University, also an adopter of shelter dogs and cats and other research animals that have given their lives for research, and I don't think a bill like this is necessary since we already have the process in place. Thank you.
My name is Sean Adams. I'm a veterinarian at Stanford. I adopted my dog, who was a teaching dog from UC Davis, over 5 years ago without the help of this bill. I oppose this bill.
My name is Esther Velasquez-Kletke, and I work at Stanford University, and I want to urge you to oppose this bill because it's absolutely unnecessary, and it would also have the opposite effect of what it is purported to achieve. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members. Janet Lopez, representing the University of Southern California. We also have a very long-standing adoption policy, and for that reason, we feel the bill is unnecessary and oppose the measure. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Michael Renzi. I'm a citizen of San Jose, California, a veteran of the United States Army, 8 years, and currently been working with community colleges and Stanford University in higher education for the last 16 years. I've been a finance and accounting person for 25. I've adopted many animals without the need of having this bill, and I do not support this bill.
Hello, my name's Joseph Garner. I'm a resident of Brisbane, California. My PhD is in animal welfare and behaviour from Oxford University in the UK. I also have 5 international awards for my service to animals and in animal welfare research. And I teach animal welfare and animal behaviour at Stanford. And I oppose this bill. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Alice Schroeder. I'm a resident of Menlo Park, and I'm an animal lover. And, you know, probably about several months ago, I might have supported this bill, but after becoming more educated and gain more knowledge, I oppose this bill, AB 147.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Steve Choi. I'm from San Jose. I'm a father of 2 and a proud turtle owner, and I oppose this bill.
Good afternoon. My name is Ann Lum. I'm a resident of Palo Alto, California. I love animals. I have adopted a cat. I have a rescue dog. And I believe this bill is unnecessary and would have a negative impact on life-saving medical research. Thank you.
I'm Amanda Banks from the California Biomedical Research Association. We believe this bill addresses a problem that does not exist. We oppose this bill.
Good afternoon. My name is Sonia Wallace. I'm a resident of Fremont, California, and I oppose this bill because, as you could hear all these successful adoption stories in this room, that things are working well as they are, and I don't think we need any unnecessary laws or legislation to add additional burden to what already is a very difficult process to develop life-saving cures and drugs. Thank you.
Veronica Villalobos-Cruz with the Independent Colleges Association. We are in opposition. Thank you. I'm Deborah Cole. I'm a resident of Brentwood, California. I've been in research for over 20 years, and I believe it's not necessary. We have all these policies in place, and why are we duplicating? I oppose.
Good afternoon. My name is Lori Brignolo. I'm a veterinarian at UC Davis. I'm a resident of Woodland, California. All 6 of my current pets have been adopted through various and sundry adoption organizations. While I think they all do a great job, I don't think this particular bill is necessary. I think the universities and all of our programs are doing a great job already. I also think that it will actually create more of a problem for these animals. These animals are used to living in their environments, and relocating them to a rescue organization just to be then relocated to a new home is causing additional stress and anxiety that's really not necessary for them. We're doing a really good job already. Thank you.
My name is Nicole Corley. I work at UC Davis. I did my education there. I live in Napa County, and I participated in facilitating the adoption of research animals, not just dogs and cats, but other species as well. We've been doing this for over 15 years that I've been affiliated with the University of California. We've placed untold numbers of animals with happy homes, forever homes. Not transitionary homes, but places where they can go home and have a family. I don't think that this bill is necessary to improve upon our processes or to involve folks that don't know these animals. I am vehemently opposed to this bill in that context.